Sentimental Value, a Norwegian production directed by Joachim Trier. The movie starts with a funeral and the death of a mother as her two daughters reconnect with their estranged father, played by Stellan Skarsgård. What continues is the father's attempts to really reconnect with his two daughters, while the two daughters are a little bit uncertain around maybe what his intentions are. And so there's a bit of trepidation, especially in the first third of the movie, as they try and figure out what exactly he's trying to do. Stellan Skarsgård, who plays the father, is a movie director, and he hasn't made a movie in a while, but he's kind of come up with a script and really wants one of his daughters, played by Renate Reinsve, who you would have seen in The Worst Person in the World, which is another Norwegian production. He's really trying to connect with her and trying to get her to kind of star in his movie. And she's very hesitant about that. You know, there's a lot of loss, there's a lot of frustration, a lot of anger between the two of them. And so she finds it really, really difficult to kind of reconnect with, even just to have conversations, never mind to kind of think about starring in a movie that he will be directing. Inga Ibsdotter Lilius plays her sister, and she, out of the two sisters, probably has done a little bit more healing than what Renate has done. So she's a little bit more open to having connections with her father. But of course, Renate is the one who is being asked by her father to star in the movie. So it's a little bit challenging, I guess, for the two sisters in that regard. The movie kind of continues as the dad tries to reconnect with his children through his script. Like he's written this script, which sounds like it's loosely been based on some of his history, some of his mother's and kind of father's experience, especially his mother's through the war. The whole movie is set in a house, and it's a house that's been in the family for generations, and kind of the one constant you get in this movie is that house. This house has heard everything, it's felt everything, it's breathed everything, it's smelt everything. It's that one kind of counterweight that kind of holds the whole of this movie together. It's just there permanently, and a lot of the conversations are within the house, within the four walls of the house. And so you really get that sense of connection to a sense of place. At the same time, there's a lot of challenge here. I mean, the two sisters their performances are exquisite. You know, playing two sisters who've been left by themselves. They've lost their mum. They already lost their dad previously. And it focuses a lot on the challenges that they went throughout childhood and how it's affected them now growing up, how it's affected them as individuals and how it's affected them in their relationship with their father. Renate's character especially is really almost traumatized by that lack of support that she had growing up, and she's still holding on to it a lot, and it's really affecting her day-to-day life. So we really see the differences in the two sisters. For Inga, she plays the sister who's got a family, has got a kid, has got a husband. She seems a little bit more grounded. But again, it's two sisters who've experienced the same, but have just expressed it or felt it in kind of very different ways. This movie there's a lot of space. Like the house itself is very spacious. It's quite a big house, although very kind of basic. And it leans to a sense of spaciousness throughout the movie as well. There are a lot of moments of just stillness. There's lots of moments of just individuals dwelling or thinking to themselves. Or, you know, you can see a lot of thoughts kind of running through the minds of Stellan Skarsgård character as the father, and also in the sisters as well. You know, a lot of the time there doesn't need to be a lot of speech to convey some of these emotions, and at other times when the speech does come, it's rarely quite expressive, especially with Renate's character, who's that sister who's kind of had a little bit more trauma around it. But you do feel this sense of breath, this sense of space, this sense of light. The movie feels very light. although the content can be quite heavy at times as well. Um, there's challenges throughout the movie that everyone experiences, and for me, it's really a sense of all three want to have some connection with each other. All three of the main characters want to connect with each other, but they just want to connect in different ways. Stellan Skarsgård's character as the father wants to connect through his art, and he's very specific about his art. I mean, there are moments where he wants to get Renate, his daughter, to play the role, but you can understand why she doesn't, because he is so kind of negative about the roles that she currently plays. She does a lot of theatre performances, and he's very negative against that. But it's the only way that he can connect through her, through that art. And at the same time, the daughters, they rarely want to connect just through the normal day-to-day interactions with parents, right? Being able to just talk, being able to listen, not necessarily to have those connections with an ulterior motive in mind. And as the movie progresses, you rarely get that sense of everyone's out for that connection. It's just in different ways, which is similar to kind of most families. I think I've really felt connected that we're all looking for connections in our own families, but we all require it in slightly different ways. The performances in this are really unbelievable. I think Stellan Skarsgård plays an awesome father who's just, he's very stuck in his ways. He's very not opening up too much about how he's feeling, and he does a really good job of conveying that this kind of this patriarchal role, but also very kind of connected to his art, but also a sense of vulnerability, especially as he goes through the movie, as he starts to open up a little bit more about how he's feeling, and really opening up to his children in slightly different ways. And both the two sisters are just beautiful performances, a lot of vulnerability, a lot of heartache, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of moments where they're trying to be understanding with the father as much as possible, even though it might not be the language that they particularly understand. There's one moment in the movie I think that really stood out for me when there was one visual of the three main characters, you saw their faces, and kind of lights and shadows went over their face, and you would see Stellan Skarsgård's character just saying nothing. You see his face, a bit of shadow and light comes over, and it kind of changes into Renate's face. And then a bit of more shadow comes, and then it changes into Inga's face. And this happens for about 30 seconds. There's no sound, there's no voices, but it just gives a sense. There are times you can kind of see half of the dad's face, and then half of one of the sisters' face, and then half of one of the sisters' face, and half of one of the other sister's face, and this is all conveyed through shadows and light. I've never seen anything like that in a movie. It's a really good moment of just being very intentful with conveying connections and how we are all interrelated and all interconnected, just in different ways, but we're all from that kind of same source material. So I really thought that was a powerful moment in the movie. It's been up for a lot of awards. Stellan Skarsgård has already won some kind of Best Supporting Actor awards for it. It just won Best International Feature at the BAFTAs. It's up for the same award at the Oscars as well. It's probably my favourite movie out of all of the ones that have been nominated during the award season, just for the length and breadth of all the acting. This isn't just one actor who's making a standout performance here. It is all three of them playing that together as well. So I think all three of them could have had awards. To be fair, I just think they are so full of vulnerability, of delicateness, and also being very expressive when they need to. And again, you rarely get this sense of space throughout the movie as well. It's a sense of lightness while also talking about really deep subjects. So really, really love this movie. It's called Sentimental Value, and it's out